let's quickly go to the board number 1 because Prague is going to win this for sure. We can bet our house on it. And right now, Vishy Anand is
This is
hanging in
trickier.
there.
This is trickier than we thought, and Magnus did find a way to actually continue asking questions, because whoa.
Ooh.
What happened?
That was that a huge mistake by Vishy?
What Peter is
I
this
couldn't
just
see. I couldn't see
Zugzwang?
what was stronger, but yeah, I think he will be in Zugzwang once the king gets to a3. He will be out of moves, and Black will be able to break things open with the b pawn. So yeah, looks like White is in trouble now.
Oh, this means, Tanya, that the knight cannot move because the bishop is constantly attacking that pawn. And whenever the black king comes one step up, it is threatening to push the pawn further and infiltrate. And so that means that actually Magnus might provide the most important win for his team.
And huge update that Pragrananda has already got a win for the team. So it all comes down to, in this endgame, can Magnus add up the points for the SG Alpine Warriors? He's doing everything right so far.
Yeah, 7-5 is the score right now in the favor of Ganges Grandmasters. And Tanya, Salim, we mustn't forget there's one more board going on. We will come back to it later between Elizabeth Pate and Bella Kotenashvili. But for now, Magnus.
All eyes on this one. Notice how White has got two weaknesses on other ends of the board. Black's bishop does attack the kingside weakness, and now once there is a break on the square, the king will target the other weakness.
But I figured out what Anand wants. If Black actually makes this pawn break right now, we take this pawn, we give a check immediately, and once he pick up the pawn on a5, notice how the knight on g3 actually prevents the king from entering anywhere on the king side. And now we just sit with White. We go king a3, king b2, king a3, king b2 forever. And this might actually hold. And Magnus has a very famous relationship with fortresses. He is very much on the record saying fortresses don't exist. But this, yeah, but this might be one.
How would you explain a fortress to our audience, Peter?
The fortress is a position where you're clearly behind. Very often you're behind on material, but you set up your pieces in such a way that progress cannot be made. And you just sort of sit and wait, and despite you basically doing nothing for the rest of the game, there is no way to break open your defenses. And this might be one of those positions, but Magnus is doing the right thing, but by not committing to the break yet and continuing to sort of ask these weird little questions of Anand. I wonder if he wants to...
I see an idea for Black, but it could be very risky that at some point to go b4 and infiltrate in the center.
Yes, I think this is probably what Magnus is going to go for, because that other setup that I was discussing does look very drawish. So I think he goes king d4 here.
Will he take the pawn or will he go the other way?
Sagar, big moment.
Wow, very big.
Yeah, and he's thinking on 20 seconds here, by the way. He's
huge decision. And did you see that?
Pausing on 20 seconds and assessing his options.
He goes in.
And he goes in. Yeah, fantastic game. Wow. Absolutely fantastic game.
This is all in.
And you have to see that if Black manages to come to f2, the knight is trapped.
Wow.
Simply. And the bishop on f3 is doing good job guarding the a8, which is where White is going to queen. But still, White might have some resources here. Maybe he can think about giving the h-pawn at some point, and keep the knight.
This is that bishop versus knight position, where bishop, being a long-range piece, doesn't only attack the pawn, but also stops White's counterplay from queening a very key piece in Black's position. Magnus Carlsen with a big threat, walking up the board with his king and winning huge material.
Right, but Vishy here, the bar suggests that he still can hold this game, but where is his draw? How can he do it? How can he hold it?
What is the time situation? Because here every move is could be lost, and it's a every move is very important. So what's going on with the time?
Well, the clock is in Vishy's favor, because it's Magnus Carlsen who's down to 20 seconds. Vishy over a minute.
I think the point might be that we wait for the king to come further, and then we sacrifice. We go like b5 and then knight takes f5 in some order. But some very precise calculations need to be made here, because otherwise this backfires and loses for White. I can't so far figure out exactly what's going on. But notice how Magnus doesn't even go king to the dark square here, because he wants to have more threats, and he wants for now to force Vishy to...
Oh, Vishy plays it.
Yeah.
He gives up one of his pawns and he pushes the other pawn forward.
Wow.
And then he will sacrifice his knight and push another pawn forward.
Yeah, he wants to put that pawn on a7.
Wow.
And now the problem for Magnus is if he plays b4, we will take on b4. and then he has to, in order to try and queen the c pawn, he needs to deny the white king the c1 square. But if he goes king d2,
He
there's
does that.
always knight f1 check. There's always knight f1 check.
Oh,
Wow.
Vishy must find
Oh
that
no, he's
check.
reaching for the pawn.
Oh, he pushes it forward.
And can Black now start pushing his own pawn and create a passer?
We go knight f1 check immediately.
And what about
Ah,
bishop
first
g2
check.
first? But then knight f1
But-
comes anyway.
Then, yeah, knight f1 is always going to be playable. This
And
is
that's some grandmaster level analysis that we're witnessing right now.
Oh.
It is a crazy position. Is this one of the most fascinating endgames we've seen?
I think so. This is so exciting because Magnus is trying his best to break through while Vishy is not letting him do so. And the entire match is actually hinging on this game.
It's on the
he
board!
sacrificed
He's
the
gone.
pawn.
He's gone knight
sacrifices
f5.
the
Yeah, and this
knight.
needs to be calculated very cleanly because, for instance, you can take.
Oh, it's a blunder.
Oh,
Oh my!
It's a blunder.
You can also think about b4 first. So
Yeah.
maybe.
either take, allow e6 and go b4, or play b4 immediately. Magnus takes because I think he wins on the other side of the board and he wins faster.
And let's just explain this to everyone. You've sacrificed the piece so that you can overload this bishop. You want to create two passers. You want to start pushing the pawn. And now Vishy slows down after Magnus recaptures. He realizes that this was a mistake.
But what's the blunder? If you push your pawn, what does black
We
do?
go b4.
You're too fast.
Oh, the black. And if we push our pawn further,
This apparently.
Check with check.
takes, king moves to the
Oh
side.
my god. Also, there will be the c3 check if you go to a2, stepping out of checks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Magnus, Vishy
Like
is in a
king-
think tank.
Yeah, let's continue this. Like king a2, c2, and queen.
Queen.
And then c3 check.
Wow!
Oh, and you queen with a check.
So I guess
My
we go king
God.
a3 and then king b4, and that position might not be that bad, in
Yes.
particular against 10 seconds. But
Vishy feeling
yeah,
the
we should
tension
just
here.
watch because as you can see, even the evaluation bar is having second thoughts about many things. And yeah, I think Vishy just has to
Pushes the
push his
pawn,
pawn and then
pushes the
get the
pawn.
king up the board and go from there. Magnus will take.
Will he
We go to
find
the dark square.
Oh, you know,
King
Vishy-
a2.
oh, he goes
He
that
goes
side.
too. And Salim, your idea might be on the board. You push one pawn, then you push the other pawn, and you queen with a check.
Right, and
Ah,
there
he's
you
gone
have it.
A8.
Vishy
That's
makes
A8
one
first.
first,
Yeah.
one queen. Oh, there, so that it attacks the bishop.
No, but this endgame will be lost.
Can
Oh,
black-
look at Vishy there.
can
He's
black
so
present the
unhappy.
bishop?
And he
smiles.
smiles.
Why?
He smiles because he knows that this is
Why?
a position where he had it under control. Black can simply pick up the queen, and then you just queen yourself.
No, but then the bishop. Maybe black can preserve the bishop. Can black try to do that?
Yeah, but I think the queen ending is so
Queen
winning.
endgame is just winning.
It's so winning that we don't need to even think about
Did you
that.
see
Yeah,
that
I think this
smile?
is.
It's never seen before. Vishy smiling at Magnus.
And Magnus
I don't
smiling
know.
back. Peter, what happened there?
I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe Vishy thought that it's a draw or something, and Magnus says, no, we still fight on in this queen
Wait,
endgame.
maybe he thought there's a stalemate
Oh, he
after
plays his
c1.
bishop here, which
and
is a
there's not.
mistake. He plays his bishop here, and Vishy's
Queen
back in
e3.
the game.
He could have just
So
queened
queen
the
d8.
pawn.
Hang on, how does this work? Queen d8, bishop d3, queen a5. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's
This
take it
is
a little slow, Peter. We've got to show the lines
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
so check from the dark square. The bishop interposes.
Peter, I found it.
Yeah,
And then queen a5.
and
Check.
and there's some kind of a stalemate there.
Stalemate,
It's
yes.
on the board.
Oh, is there a stalemate?
Oh my
stalemate.
God, he doesn't give a check.
Oh my god, is that a mistake? What?
Can Black just queen now?
He wants to give up his after c1. He wants to play queen e3 check or something. Yeah,
There
he
is
wants
a
to.
stalemate idea. We've got to show this, Peter. You're pointing it out that White gives a check from here. Black takes it,
Oh,
and
he
guess
makes a
what?
queen.
This is a
No,
stalemate.
He makes a knight. He makes a knight.
What?
He makes a knight.
And knight e2 and c. Oh my
Oh
god, this is
my
just
God.
genius. This is just genius.
This is unbelievable.
Wow. He makes a knight because if king goes down, there's a fork
Let's
happening.
show that. You come here, you walk into a fork. But Sagar,
The
if I
king
go
has to
up,
go up.
Yes. No, he's saying basically with two pieces I'm promoting. You can do
Oh
nothing about
my
it.
God.
Salar,
He's
you mean he's just going to push the pawn then?
Yes. Yes. just
Okay, look at Magnus. These are two geniuses
This is
fighting
unbelievable.
This out.
This is better. This is
Unbelievable.
better than could have been imagined. Honestly, this is one of the most remarkable endgames I've seen in a long time. And it does seem
Wow.
like Magnussen is in full control here. The knight will come to e2, and then there's nothing that can stop the pawn from reaching its destination.
Yeah.
It's
How
amazing.
quick was Magnus to spot that he could make a knight?
1 second, Sagar. The knight, bishop, and pawn are stronger than White's queen right
but
now.
this- Edge pawn,
Vishy
you have-
design. Vishy resigns, Magnus has done it for his team.
You know why he resigned? Because the knight will be in time on G6.
F4 and G6, yeah.
And the black
Wow.
pawn, queens, and an
What a
unbelievable game.
game.
This has been the game of the Global Chess League so far. These two titans fighting it out till the end. What a genius have we witnessed.
And look at Vishy. He's not even like upset there because the game was so good. The game was
And the
so good.
the SG
And
Alpine Warriors are celebrating their win right now. They've got moments to be so happy with the way their icon has played.
And I just want to
Absolutely.
point out that today, as on many other days, but today in particular, there's a lot of people there watching it live, and what a spectacle they've just witnessed. Just imagine watching this live as an amateur, as somebody who just decided to randomly choose today
This
to
is
watch top level play, and this is the game you get.
chess at its finest. Peter.
Absolutely, this is fantastic.
And this endgame was for people who say that endgames are boring.
They're not saying that anymore.
Some, eh? Yeah.
Just
Come back
being-
here.
And look at this, the two players, they're still analyzing. That's how rich
Right.
this game was. They are unable to leave the board.
Right, and let's just mention to our viewers that SG Alpine Warriors have actually won the match with a score of 10-8 here. Ganges Grandmasters were very close, and there you have, they are analyzing the endgame. SG has won, Ganges has lost, but
Sagar.
right now it's time to look at this endgame.
This endgame deserves a book of its own. This game deserves a book of its own. It's one for the history books. What we witnessed is unbelievable today.
Right. And actually, this was the critical moment where Vishy thought it was a draw, but Magnus underpromoted to a knight on the next move.
Yeah, the defense was probably very hard. I guess there would have been better version